Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Motion Method vlog. Motion Method is a small creative media production company. We do photography, video production, graphic design, website design for a lot of small businesses here in Pensacola, Florida. My name is Logan Glover, and I run everything. But I also work with two of my partners, Reese Jones and Sky Walters. We're trying out this vlog style video to build a connection with other local creators, small businesses, and just try to get our name out there and just try to show off why we do certain things. We wanted our vlog to be a little bit different since we do more than just one thing or another. We want to include everybody in these videos and just give off little segments of why we do what we do. So sometimes you'll hear from me and I'll talk about some of the gear in the video side or photos. Or sometimes you'll hear from Maurice and he talks a lot about editing. Or other times you might even hear from Sky and he does a lot of our graphic design and website production. Okay, I have Reese and Sky here if you guys want to introduce yourselves.
I'm Reese Jones. I do a lot of the editing here at Motion Method.
I'm Sky. I do all the graphic design and website design for Motion Method.
Right now, we're showing off some of our weekly podcast clients. We like to use these Rode mics in our podcast set. We've had them for years, and they've always held up. Audio sounds good. And then I use these newer lights as kind of a catch light for the podcast guests. They're really good. We got them on Amazon, and we've literally had these for 5 years or so. And then to light the main subjects, I use this small rig RC120B light with a lantern attached. And this is what the shot ends up looking like on the Sony FX3. And then we have it all powered with this small rig battery that's powering the camera and the monitor. We want to give off kind of like a documentary almost style, kind of like The Office for the second camera. We're using the Sony a7 IV with the Tamron 35 to 150. We don't mind if the camera shakes. We kind of want something authentic for the second angle. And then that's Sky using it, and then got a little heavy for Sky's hands. So after a pause, we use the monopod. And we kind of like how that looks for some certain podcasts we produce. It just depends on the vibe of the show. And then also I'm trying out this new black Pro Mist filter, diffusion filter that I got on Amazon. It just basically softens up a lot of the light and makes it not look as harsh. This is what it looks like on and off on camera. Here, this is before the mist filter is screwed on. And then I screw it on. It's not super noticeable, but if you look at the two lights on the side, they get a little bit almost diffused, a little bit more hazy of a look. And it's just kind of a preference. It makes it look more cinematic, people would say. And then here is what the finished podcast ends up looking like. This is our podcast with the local Pensacola creator. His name is Vaughn V. We've actually shot several music videos for him a while ago, and we continue to keep in touch after our relaunch of Motion Method. If you're interested in that, we'll probably talk about that later in the video about how we came to be doing what we're doing right now.
So this is what we were setting up for at I50 Armor Works.
Here is me setting up the camera and the small rig light, just trying to figure out what exactly we want it to look like. And there's Sky sitting there being a sit-in model. We set up these Star Wars helmets in the background just for a little bit of prop set dressing. And then we wanted a little bit of light, so we tried out this Amaran tube, playing around with it, looking for where we actually want to put it. Try out several different spots. We're not really sure. And then I end up moving that shelf out of the way. I repositioned the light several times, and then I realized that I don't like that modifier softbox, so I pull out the other one just to see how it looks. And then we end up putting the Amaran tube light on a C-stand after we debate on what angle we want and how we want it to affect those helmets. We bring out the C-stand and screw it on. and then put it above the helmet just to give a little bit of light and decoration. We have the newer light on the side again. And this is what the final shot ended up looking like, the final setup. We had the small rig with the softbox modifier right up on the face. And there's the Sony FX3 with that small rig battery again and the Blackmagic monitor. And we like these newer lights. They're cheap and they just add a little bit of depth to your subject. And then there's that Amaran tuba light on the C-stand again. And then this is behind the scenes of recording the actual video. We had it mic'd up with the lav mic, the Rode Wireless Pro, I believe. And this is what the final video is going to end up looking like, more or less. This is kind of the behind the scenes, not the actual clip. And then we still had that mist filter applied. I really like the look of it for certain projects, so it just makes everything look a little bit more hazy. This is going to end up being a YouTube kind of tutorial documentary series.
You've got so much more freedom and creativity.
This is an example of one of our social media restaurant clients. We're getting our cameras and gear prepared. The photography camera I mainly use a Sony a7 IV with the Godox V1 flash, and then for video I really like using this little Sony ZV-E1. It's basically an FX3, but we don't have to lug out the FX3 everywhere. We can leave it built up. And then we have just recently bought this new Sony a7C camera for behind the scenes and just a second angle when we need it. And then here's a little bit of behind the scenes of us taking photos. Today's shoot we mostly did 2-for-1 margaritas for a local Mexican restaurant. We have several of these restaurants signed as retainer clients, and it's always fun to work on. I'll put up a photo of what one of these ended up looking like. It took us a minute because we wanted to get that kind of Instagram aesthetic where the drinks are cheersing and the liquid flies everywhere, so it kind of took us a minute to get the actual photo we were going for, and I think we ended up getting one or two that we really enjoyed.
For this part, we were just taking product photos of like not really product photos, but photos for 2-for-1 margaritas, so I can use them in my designs or post them on our social media for the restaurants.
Another thing we did this weekend, we participated in the McGuire's 5K race. This is a very famous and popular race here in Pensacola, Florida for a really big restaurant. It's not really anything related to our business. It's just we all came out here and it was kind of like a group bonding almost. That's my girlfriend Jackie's friend, and she's currently holding the camera. That's Reese.
Behind the scenes motion method.
That's literally not even what I said.
Repeat the question.
How do you think you're going to do it today?
My name is Reese Jones. I think we're going to do really good. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm going to win the race. My name is Sky. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm here at the McGuire's Run. Going to win every prize ever made.
Okay.
It was a really fun experience it was a really fun experience just being able to go out and do something non-directly work related with everybody. We're thinking about doing some more stuff more often. Some backstory on Motion Method. We started off, Reese and I, wanting to create music videos in about, I think, the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. I had just gotten the Panasonic GH5 as a work camera, and I wanted to use it for some fun. So we started off doing music videos for several local musicians, and we kind of became somewhat locally popular, and then you'll see a bunch of our music videos still up on our page if you're interested. And we did that until about halfway through 2020, so 2019 and 2020 we did that. And then in 2020, Corona happened, and we kind of just stopped everything. I would just do some photography work every here and there, and then in early of 2022, got this job at a local restaurant that was just opening, Mama's Tacos, at a restaurant, and it took us a little while to get comfortable and get good at what we were doing for social media, but eventually it started working and they started growing. And then we did all that for 2022. And in 2023, several other local restaurants began to notice what we were doing and were interested in our services. So that was all about growth in 2023. And then we started working with other clients besides restaurants, such as 850 Armor Works, as you've seen. And then this year in 2024, we're really trying to grow our business even more past just social media content producing for restaurants. We're trying to get into more corporate work or event work, a lot of video production and some photography.
Yeah, we also been doing a lot of like we're trying to get more into doing websites. I've been growing in that aspect. I've been working a lot with doing creating websites, and relatively everybody needs one if they're doing have a business and kind of don't have time to make their own, so they outsource. And thankfully, like people have came to us asking for websites being done, and I've had to learn to do them. And it's quite challenging. They take a long time, but they're really rewarding. So I'm very very confident in learning more to try to do them, and also making graphics is a big part of what we do now. People promoting what the events or what they want each day or for the week.
Motion Method has helped me a lot with all my editing. I've always had a passion for editing, and even when we took our break from doing music videos due to COVID, on my off time, I like to create music videos or not music videos, like YouTube gaming videos, dumb stuff. But being with Motion Method has really helped my editing career. When I first started, I didn't really know what I was doing. I kind of was just winging it, and then Logan got this restaurant, and I didn't even really do a whole lot at the beginning, but you really just got to go for it. I really did not have any idea how to do social media, neither did Logan, but we kept going at it. More restaurants started noticing us, and we just learned, we adapted, and now we're here. And it's a lot of hard work, but it's also really fun.
They started this back in 2018. I was friends with them. I wasn't really a part of it. I mean, I think recently in 2023, the end of it, December, Logan asked me to join them because they had a lot of work, and thankfully, I mean, at that time I was really confident in my skills, and they had enough work for me to we're a local business, and if you're a local business, why not help each other out and get through it?
I got this idea to do these vlogs based off several video producers or videographers like David Moorfield, Cranky Cameraman, and several more. But we wanted to show off our own little twist on these vlogs because we're not solely videographers. It's not the only thing that we do. We're a company, and we want to show off the different aspects of what we do every day and how we work together to provide the needs of our clients. And we wanted to have the three of us more involved in these videos to just basically show how we run a small creative media, marketing, video production, photography agency. We do pretty much everything. We don't have an exact name for what exactly we provide, but we provide social media services, video production, photography, graphic design, website design for small businesses and individual people alike. Thank you for watching the first vlog.